Hey Mr. Ha, welcome to my place. Fran here speaking as always. New place, new plot. Hidey hole to hide in. This is less of a vlog this time around, more of a how do I do image merge, splatter effect things on GIMP. A few people have gone, oh, how do you do it? What's your secrets? What's your things? So I'm actually going to answer it. I tried to answer it in a PM. I'm not sure if it came across, so I figured I'm going to do a live example. But yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, do come and ask. I'm genuinely about. Enjoy.
Right, so here we are. We have, in today's use, we are using GIMP software, as previously stated. We have the template canvas size already laid out, so we have a 500 pixel high by 700 pixel width image. I've already got the two, what I refer to as my two base layers, which number one is the actual background, which matches the Mizahar color. Most of the time this will be invisible. It's purely there so I can actually see how it works with the Mizahar colouring. And we have the splatter layer ready, which for the moment is just a clear alpha channel, nothing in it at all, no colours, blank, erased, nothing there. I also have my two images that I'm going to use for this. I have Alira's Cantrell's lovely face claim. I can't think of the name at the moment. I'm sure I'll be reminded of it in good time. I remember she's a swimsuit model though, so if you want to look for your latest bits of lovely beachside wear, look no further. We also have the selected what I'm going to use as a splatter background image. Now, for the moment, we're going to copy in the background layer, which for the sake of this purpose, I'm calling the Dreamtime background. I could never remember things, and quite literally just layer, edit, paste, to new layer. Then you shrink that layer, scale that layer down to make sure it hits the minimum height requirements. You can adjust this as and when you like. I personally do it this way because that's how I'm using it. If I want it bigger later on, I can always go back to the original image, which is why you try not to touch the original base images as much as possible. I then go back to Alira. As you can see, I've already done a lasso layer of her. That's another thing. Not everyone all the time you have to do a lasso layer. This is just how I work. I might use the actual full image later on. I might go, actually no, I want to change that. But for the moment, I'm just going to use the base lasso. So Control I that, and invert it. Control C, copy it over to new layer. Pretty big there. Scale that layer down. Make sure it hits within the height requirements. Done. Now, move Lyra across to the right here, because I think that's where she'll look best this time. And that's it for the moment. Now, it looks a bit cluttered. Well, not even cluttered. It doesn't look anything like a splatter layer. I'm probably going to hear you cry in a moment. And you're right, it doesn't. You have to do a few more things before that. To begin with, start naming your layers. So, edit layer attributes. I'm going to call this the face layer, because it's the face. Edit the layer attributes background, because it's the background. And then we're going to go back to the face layer, select all, invert that selection, layer, new layer, face shadow, as I previously titled it there. Go like that, drag it down beneath. It doesn't like me dragging layers down when I'm doing recording. I have no clue why, so if you see a bit of fracture, that's probably why. I'll just repeat the last sentence so we know where I am, or make it as clear as possible. Go to the paintbrush tool, quite literally on the face layer, go like that, run the black underneath, and you might think, why is she doing that? You drag it over the edge. If I do that, you can see what I'm doing. It creates a silhouette, essentially, and that will sit nice and neatly underneath the actual face. This is so when you start doing the splatter and you start playing about with the level tools and that, it doesn't affect it as much. It will not directly affect that image. Select none and link those two layers together. That way, if one moves, the other moves. It's not so fiddly then. Now, the next stage, to the background. Now up here you've got your different modes. What do you need those for? Well, this is where it becomes interesting. If I then go lighten only, oh, it's disappeared. Where's it gone? If I go down to screen, because that's my one I like to use, I then pick out a nice splatter effect paintbrush brush. Let's try this one. Make it nice and big. 200 and go. Nope. Get the right layer, Jen. Get the right layer. Go like that. Oh, wow! And I've painted that on the splatter layer beneath. You can see there in that little lovely box, that is the splatter layer that I've done, not the actual background layer. I keep doing that. Lead it around. But it hasn't affected Lyra's layout. You might think that's a bit odd. Now if I then go screen for a Lyra, and then I take out the shadow face shadow, you can see what's happened. She's blurred down into the actual image itself. Some people might go, oh wow, that's wonderful, let's use that, let's do a bit more work first. So she says, without trying not to get the wrong layer, go like that, drag it around, make it nice and neat. But that's not the only thing you can play with here. You've got all these other things. So if I go lighten only, it doesn't really do much. If I then go darken only, blacks it out. Now, darken only, keeping on that one, if I then go new layer, light, splatter, works in the same way as if you used to use black paint. If I then go switch it over to the white, and then I go light splatter, it does the same sort of thing. So you can use both black or white if you wanted to. But it's not just that, you can use other colours as well. So if I then go new layer, colour splatter, spell it the English way because I'm English. Let's pick a nice mid-red. Let's pick bright red then. Take out the light splatter. I then go onto the colour splatter layer. Oh wow, it overlays the image down onto that colour nice and neatly. Okay, but you've got to have an experiment about with your shades and your layers and things. Today we're just going to keep it nice and simple because people might complain at me otherwise. So delete that light splatter, delete that splatter. I'm going to go back to dark, take it back to screen. No, but there's a lot of things you can play with. So if you take then out the the face shadow again, you've got this screen effect. In this instance, I'm going to go darken only. What happens? Nothing happens. It fades away to nothing. Then go overlay, because overlay is my favourite. It fades again almost to nothing. If I go difference, well, that's an interesting effect. I kind of like that. A lot of it at the end of the day is down to your own personal taste. What one person might like, someone else might go, ooh, why did you do that? That looks hideous. And that's really all to it. You have to do a lot of trial and error, a lot of experimentation, a lot of grain merging. See, someone might go, oh, yes, that's wonderful. Or they might go, ooh, no, that looks horrible, I'm sorry. But for simplicity in this case, we're just going to keep to the screen mode and experiment about with it. And, once I've had a bit more of a play, I'll let you see the final product. But that's genuinely all there is to it. You just have a play, have a mooch about. Let's try dodge. Dodge doesn't work. Overlay doesn't really work. Lighten only sort of works. Grain merge sort of works. But you've also got to not be afraid of multiplying the layers. So you've got face there. So if I then go duplicate layer, I can then go, okay, I'm going to change that one to overlay. Now if you remember before it was like that, you got your face copy. If I then go knock that down to a different opacity, 50%, she's clearer, a lot clearer than if she was like that, but she's still got that sort of ethereal feel where she blends into the image. If you then go maybe overlay, we've had overlay there, don't we? Let's pick something else. Grey merge doesn't really work. She darkens right into that. You know, if you take one out, she isn't so clear, but she's, you know, becomes a lot more bolder. Difference doesn't quite work, but we'll use difference because it's a striking comparison. If I do that, you can really actually see her there, but she's still got all this little flowery stuff right in the middle there, see? And it all just sort of flickers in like that. But that's really all there is to it. You've just got to keep experimenting, trial and error and all the rest. Now, let's say I'm going to carry on with this for a bit. If I go overlay, no, we got overlay. We want light and only then. Because I kind of like that. You know, Lyra might go, no, I don't want that, I want something else. Knock that up to 70. Okay, maybe not 60. Got it as it is. Now, people are probably going to go, what if you want to, like, you know, start merging it down? You know, make it more of a flatter image, because you've also got this bit down here to contend with, you know. So, neaten it all up as you want it, without cutting off too much of Lyra's head. So, that's the other interesting bit. You need to make sure. Wherever possible, it's literally is the game of just shave off as much as you can, because the more you lose, the better. You know, in my opinion, if you can make the image as narrow and thin as possible, that's wonderful. You don't have to have great big swooping images to make them look nice. I might knock that up to 65 though. Maybe let's try screen. Dodge? No, definitely not dodge. Addition? No. Light and only then. I'll keep it at that. I'm not allowed to touch them. If someone sees me touching them again, scream at me really loudly and really angry. Maybe. Preferably on chat because it would be hilarious. But there we go. So, got it all laid out. Stage 2. You've got to merge your layers in a particular order. I always do this wrong. She says, spotting something she needs to add in. I always do this wrong. You start from the bottom and you pretty much just work down. If you do it too early, that happens. At this point, I'm going to knock out the actual face layer, face shadow. I'm then going to go merge down. Next one, merge down. And there we are. So that's all on one splatter layer. Then we go to new layer. I'm going to call it the under splatter. Okay, back again. I've managed to move the under splatter layer down now. I don't no clue why it does that. Anyway, so we've got it as it is. So when we get the fun bit where we get to go in, select the pretty colours and go, I want to use that one. So let's start with a darker shade around here. So we go right in, pick that. That's a nice, for those who want to know, 0D202C. It looks blue. So, which is, this bit's kind of the easiest bit. You quite literally just go along like that. And there we go. Yeah. Easy. Really easy. Sometimes if you want to, you can select that. I generally do this so we get a nice level throughout. Done. But what if you want to do more? Well, you can do more if you want. I generally then start invoking the opacities of the eraser and other things. For example, I can then go, she said, again getting the right layer. Maybe if I want to, blend the layer in a little bit. Maybe. If I'm not happy with the image there, say for instance I think, oh, I need to make her a bit more grey there. I've got the original image still. Why you don't edit them? So quite literally if I want to go, oh, I want to make her a bit more grey there, I can go back to here, I can go, okay, I want that colour there, that nice grey there. I can zoom then right in and go, okay, hello Alira, nice and close. Hope you don't mind being this close. Don't select the razor, select the paintbrush, and again think about trying to blend it in. Maybe that's too dark. Select the actual grey there. If you like that, you might go, no, I want my flowers. Okay, you can have your flowers. Take your flowers and keep your flowers. But again, a lot of it is just simple trial and error. It's understanding the layers and what you manipulate and how you manipulate it. There we go. Take the edge off that a bit. And that's about it. Nothing to it. I don't know if she'll actually approve of this. I'll have to go and ask her. But that's that. And when you think, oh yeah, I'm happy with this, quite literally remember that background we've got there. Go view, you can see what it would look like on the sort of Mizahar colour. And that's that. All I've got left now is to put in the words, and that will take forever because I'm really font fussy. Yeah, enjoy. And I'm sure you'll see the final product soon.